Okay. Yeah. So basically, now once you have installed, uh, yeah, I mean after whatever the steps mentioned in the video, after you have completed everything, you have to do some changes in the bash rc file. Probably I'm going to bash rc gedit, gedit. And please add the entry for Hive home. I think all you must have installed in our home directory. So home HD user, add this directory Apache Hive 0.13.bin. So probably just rather than typing it, just print it and put it here. No, what you can do is basically open one more terminal, go to Apache Hive. Pinned working directory and copy this and put it into this export. Let me ping everybody. Yeah, I think it's again a problem. I am in VM and here I have to type. So basically add this entry. I think you can see my so add this entry export hive underscore home equal to home HD user Apache Hive 0.13.0 hyphen bin. Right. Once this entry was made, come down and to the path also basically add this hive underscore home. Please let me know when you are done. If you have any questions, let me know. Probably I will unmute you, so that's better, I think. Yashuba, Aparna, Srinivas, have you done it?
Hello, Venkat.
Add this entry export hive underscore home. Shiva, are you there? It's showing offline.
Hello.
Yes, yes, yeah. Right, step one, write it down here. Step
I added these entries.
yeah, go to dot bash rc.
Venkat,
Yes.
when I initially when I extracted this zip file, There was another version of Hive was there. So should we remove that or let it be
No, just
there?
keep it, no problem. No, the old version is
Oh,
already there.
oh,
Yeah. Just now change the directory to the 0.13 version. Even Shiva
okay.
might be also having that, but use this version
Mm-hmm.
because big Hive and HBase integration not working with the other version.
Okay.
You edit RVI, whatever is comfortable for you. No? RVI.
Both are same, right? Gedit slash vn gedit.
Yeah, anything you can use, either gedit or
Okay.
vi.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing problem. Add I export add I home. Command is basically export I underscore home. Basically our home HD user, right? HD user and Hive location. Right? And this is the location. Then add to path. Right? Basically what you have to add is Hive underscore home bin.
So shall we save it?
Yes. After adding, just save it and come back and close it. If you close completely, then this will go off. Basically, now to get the prompt back. Save it, close it here, then you get the prompt back. Probably you can check it echo hive underscore home. So validate hive underscore home added. So how we'll validate is basically echo dollar hive underscore home.
Source, this Venkat source and this.
Yeah, whatever the changes you have done, right, that will be reflected in the already open session when you give this command.
Okay, okay.
I think you have already discussed this. Probably just note it down. Probably these are the
Yeah.
yeah. Whenever you do any installation and add these entries, basically we'll do that. Let's say step two. I think. Yeah. Okay. Let me move this. This is the step three. Now echo it and check whether it's showing up.
Yes, Shankar, it's working.
Okay. And also check the path. No, check path. Ensure that it's correct. Echo dollar path. Right? It would be great if you could send me that your path. I will validate it once. The call and all should be proper.
In fact, we can see only your things, but
Okay.
I think you are unable to see our questions.
Path also working, even path also this is added.
Yeah.
Check
One
whether
second.
Hive home
Yes, we are getting the path, Venkat.
in bin. Check Hive home bin added path. Is it added?
Ring phone. One second. One second. So it will echo dollar path will give all the entries, right?
Yes, in that entry, you should see this entry Hive home underscore bin as well.
Yeah, you checking.
Yeah, it's added for me, Venkat.
Okay, okay. So then probably if it's all done, then we'll start the Hive shell, right?
Okay.
Go to CD, let's sorry, CD Apache Hive 0.13. Go to this directory CD Apache Hive 0.13 bin, and here go to CD bin and start the Hive shell. Dot current directory slash Hive.
Venkat, I have already started this before writing this dash or cfile. So should I stop it or let it be?
Just stop and start it then. Yeah, just close it. There's nothing like quit
Oh,
or
oh,
exit.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
fine, fine.
And ensure that you are starting 0.13. That all your entries in bash RC should be against 0.13.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have more than one version. Aparna, I think she has only one version, but because in my VM that I have provided, Hive is already installed. So we are installing one more version. Ensure that you have a right version in all the places, bash RC especially.
Okay.
Right, the Hive started. Yeah, but if you are able to see the Hive prompt, I think probably I will go ahead and show probably all the commands. You can practice later. Yeah, are you able to start Srinivas Aparna Hive shell?
Starting.
Starting now, Venkat.
Okay. Tables, database, and all, right? So before we get started, right? Just I want to revisit these things. Um, Data models and data types. So basically Hive data types, it will take only the important ones for whatever you use. Hive data types, probably start with int, string, and what probably double or float. I think probably these two are sufficient as of now. Probably there are number data types, string data types, even varchar and all is there. But you will create our tables using int and string, right? And Hive data models. Hive data models, basically database, table, partitions, and buckets. So in this session, probably we'll covering the database and tables, right? So let's get started. Go back to the slides. Right, we've started Hive shell, so we can give our commands, right? And basically, I think as we have discussed in the theory, it's basically Hive is write once, read many times. Right? Hive is basically write once, read many times. Right? And it doesn't support in place updates. Yeah, and probably it's not good for interactive analysis. Right? So here what we'll be covering is you insert the data, append the data. There is no support for updates. So probably what to do is create a database, create tables, and insert the data and append the data to the existing tables. Right? That's what we'll be covering now. First, create the database, right? And create database is very simple. Create database name, right? Probably you can show database as well. Probably you can try and start with show database. Show databases. I think databases. Probably you can run these commands, probably simple ones, because I've already created some database. I could see Hive database, but you should have a default database. That is something default database. So first, as mentioned in the Hive data models, we will create a database first. At create database name, probably at Hadoop class 2. Let's say I start with this. Yeah, its name node is in safe mode. Let me come out of the safe mode. HDFS DFS admin minus safe mode leave.
Venkat, do we have to start our Hadoop services also before this?
Yes, you have to start. Yeah, because the data is basically HDFS, right? You have to start it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Where are we? Let me run the command again. Right? Database created. You can check the database as well. Show databases. Show database. Show databases. Right? You can see the database. Hadoop class 2, the one you have created. Now we will create a simple table, right? Probably in line with, you take one of the file, in line with that file, we'll create a table. So let me check that file, whatever files we have. I'll start recording. Yeah, what we'll create is, we have a file, right? We have a file. Yeah, this is our file. Whatever is employee ID. We create a table with employee ID. Let me put at the top.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, sorry. Tell me. Yeah.
Venkat, I started my Hadoop services and I actually was creating a database the way you created, create database and
Okay.
database name. It is giving some error, Venkat.
What is the error it's given? So I'm muting everybody. Now I'm muting everybody now. If you want any questions, ping me. Right. So probably our we will use this emp.txt. Right. We will use this emp.txt. It has employee ID, employee name, salary, department number, country, location. Employee ID, employee name, salary, DEPT number, and probably country, whatever. To make, yeah, probably you'll use employee number here also. Right? Yeah. So when you are creating the table, right? Create table syntax, create table. I think if not exist employee, this is optional. Employee names, employee salary, department number, right? And there are other formats as well, right? Something like row format delimited. When you use this row format delimited, you have to mention how the fields are terminated and how the lines are terminated, right? So if you go back to our file, right, our file fields are terminated by comma and the lines are terminated by new character, right? So let me create a table now. Create table employee. Sorry, before going there, you have to go to the database, right? Use Hadoop class 2, right? Now we are in Hadoop class 2 database, right? You can also check the tables. There won't be any tables. Let's say show tables. The no tables, right? Now create a table. Create table employee, right? EMP number. It's similar to what you most of the SQL statements. Employee number and employee name, ename, string, and salary. Let's say double. Department number, int, right? Country, again string. So whatever we have declared is in line with our file, right? And now we have to give row format delimited. You see here, right? It's a row format delimited. Probably we'll talk about partition later, but a simple table. Row format delimited. Row format delimited. Delimited. Fields terminated by terminated by comma, right? Ours is comma. Sorry. Lines terminated by new line character. So is it clear? Basically create table name, whatever your column name data types, row format delimited, fields terminated by in our example file, the columns are terminated by comma. So we have given comma. If it's terminated by tab, you have to give /t, right? Our lines terminated by, I think I'm wrong here, terminated by null character. Hopefully, I think I haven't missed anything. Just run it, right? It's created. Now you can say show tables. show tables, right? Even you can use wildcard characters as well. Let's say emp star. Wrong with it, right? Show tables. Yeah, let me check the syntax. Nothing is here. Show tables, or how to get in a single quotes. Show tables emp star, right? So you can get the table starting with emp. Forward, right? So what you have done is created a database, and we have moved to a whatever the database you have created using use statement, and after that we have created a table. Our table is in line with whatever the file we have, right? Our file is terminated by fields and lines terminated by the Newland character. So in line with our data, we have created a table, and just we have verified whether our table got created, show tables, and even we can use wildcard characters to check table starting with emp. That's also tested it. Now check the structure of the table. I think it's describe employee, right? Describe employee, is correct. Employee number, e-name, salary, department number, country. So probably now I think you can go ahead and load the data, right? Just we'll go to loading data, right? Loading data, basically we can load the data. The input file could be located either in a local directory from where we are running the Hive command, or it could be located in HDFS location as well. So as our file is in local directory, probably we will try with local directory, right? So when you are using local directory, we have to mention this local here, local in path. When you are loading from HDFS, this local, you have to remove this local, just say load data in path, right? So as our file is in our home HD user and our local, we will use load data local in path. It's emp.txt, right? Load data local in path. Our directory is home HD user emp.txt, right? Load data local in path into our table name. Our table is employee, into table employee, right? Just I will repeat you again here. Load data local in path when we are loading the file from a local file system, right? We can load the data from HDFS as well. So Our local directory, the location of file is home hd user emp.txt, right? So into our table name is employee. Right now the data is loaded into our table. Now we can say read the data. Select, it's in SQL on Hadoop. So what you write is just a select statement. Select star from employee. Yes, data got loaded. So before I move forward, is it clear? Just say hi. Yes, probably if it's clear. Otherwise, I will unmute you so that you can ask your questions. Yeah, good. Then just move forward, right? And one more thing I want to explain here is just go to Hadoop directory. Let me start this. I think this is easiest. Yeah, sometimes it's not working, but I'll go here. Mm, Show directory. Yeah, I will go through that later. Okay. User, I think HD user Hive warehouse, right? So this is basically, if I remembered, when you are talking about a theory, right? Data will be stored in Hive warehouse directory. This is basically the Hive warehouse directory. Within this directory, it will create the database. Our database is Hadoop class 2, right? It creates the tables here, right? So probably I'll go through that Hive cited XML, but just to explain here, this is a warehouse directory for Hive. So this is the warehouse directory for the Hive, and for each database, a folder will be created with the database name and file will be created here. So our table just reference this file emp.txt. So we are giving a structure, so you can do for the Excel statements against our Hive table. So let me unmute you and have any questions. Yeah, any questions, Srinivas Aparna? Clear?
So Venkat, like how do you went into this place actually? You just opened the browser and there you typed
Yes. I think probably our second or third class we have covered this. Basically how to.
yeah. So yeah, correct. So localhost colon 50070 we have to type, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah, probably not. In fact, you can go using Hadoop fs command as well. Probably I thought it's easy to show it from here. That is why I've used
Yeah, okay.
URL. Otherwise, you can say Hadoop fs also, right? And the concept
Fs
is
slash, yeah. So
so
under slash, we can see all these directories and we can go inside and see, right?
yes, but not just for your understanding, probably this is the first time you are doing because you have to understand the concept here, right? There's something like Hive warehouse directory. Under warehouse directory, it will create all your files. It's a database and all your files, right? So that's basically to explain this. I've gone to this directory, but we need not go all the time when you created the tables, right? Yeah, clear about
Yeah,
Hive
fine.
warehouse directory?
Yes, Venkat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically this is what now the files are not modified by I think this is basically Hive warehouse directory, right? So our Hive warehouse directory is basically you I think home whatever user Hive warehouse, right? And as I mentioned again, where there's no integrity constraints, probably if you run the command again, let me run because yeah, let me run the command. So, yes, and it says around 27 records are there. So let me run it again, right? Let me run this data. What will happen? Any guess? There are no integrity constraints. Again, it does keep adding, right?
Okay.
Again, as I
Four
mentioned,
rows.
you can insert the data and append the data. So it's keep appending the data, right? But what you cannot do is you cannot do in place updates. So let's say I don't want to update, just append the data. What you can do is insert data local in path. I think something like overwrite. Let me check the syntax. Anywhere public go to next, right? Uh, I think overwrite. So let me overwrite now. Okay, where it is? Overwrite table. I think into is not there, right? Overwrite table employee. Something wrong.
Two was there, Venkat.
Overwrite into. Okay. Right. Now just check it. How many records? Again, we'll come back to 27 records. So what you can do is you can append the data or you can override the data, but we cannot do in place updates. Right? This is basically write once, read many times. So any questions?
No question.
Mm.
Yeah. And basically what you have done is a load statement. Other way of doing it is, right? We can uh, use basically insert into as well. Similarly, insert into table, inside overwrite into table. This can be done. Probably if you want to do any group by, you can also do that. If you want me to do that, I will do that. Or if you want to practice, you can practice it. So shall we move to insert?
Okay.
Yes, Venkat.
Yeah, yeah. Let me create one more table. Create emp, let's say emp copy, right? Emp number int emp name as string. Then you can say just stored as sequential file, right? Probably we'll talk about sequential. I think it should work, create table, table name, right? Row format delimited. That's not required. You can say stored as sequential file. Let me check the syntax. Yeah, I think stored as sequential file. Stored as sequence file. It's one step. Create table. Sorry. Right, I think just recap, sequential file is the default format of Hadoop, right? It's basically store the data in a binary key value format. And in this case, what you're saying is your data will be stored in a sequence file format. Unlike uh, the previous one, because you're giving the data, whatever is in the file, just copy it. So data will be stored as basically whatever is our input. Our input fields terminated by comma and lines terminated by new line character. In this case, because we don't want to load the data from a file, right? You want to use insert statement, right? You can store your data as a sequential file and insert from a table that is already having a data into EMP copy, right? Let me insert the data now, but here the format is different. Here you are saying the data is stored in a sequential file format. In your previous case, it's saying your data will be stored in a row format delimited, fields delimited by comma, and lines delimited by new line character. In this case, it's a sequence file, right? Let me insert into table emp copy emp number emp name select, I think emp number comma ename from employee. Hopefully my syntax is correct, right? Insert into table. Then similarly what to do is there, it's from insert into table emp copy. Yeah, let me check it. You're saying in select class. Okay, let me go and check the command. Yeah, basically, it doesn't support, I think, insert into table, giving the column list. So I've removed the column list, just insert into table, select, put our columns. Right? Now we can say seller start from EMP copy. Right? So we have only two columns, employee ID and employee name. So any questions? Yeah, any questions, Srinivas, Aparna?
Yeah, yeah, Venkat, you told like this EMP copy, the data will be stored in sequential file format, right?
Yes, yes,
In the
I'll show
form
you.
of
I
binary.
will show you that. I will show you that. But as a user, you don't see difference, right? When you select it, what you get is basically table data only, string. But internal storage is different here. So before I move forward, is it clear? Just I want to go in depth only because we don't need to know how the data will be stored. But I will go there and show you how the data is stored in case of a sequential file. But is it clear so far?
Yes, Venkat.
Yes, Ankit.
Yeah.
Ankit,
So
it's clear.
let me let me go there and show you. Just let's go here. What is EMP copy? Right, this is the file. So let me go here. User Hive warehouse. Let me go here. So Hadoop FS. I think probably minus cat. Paste this file. Let's say 000 start. Let me print this. See, can you see the data now? It's basically, it stores in a sequential file format. Some of the characters are a bit different. And, this is basically, I think, control A character. That's the default delimiter for the Hive, right? So let me go through the other one. So there it should be same as what the input file. Let me go to the other location. Our where you have given files as the same file. Now basically, let's go to this employee. Just a file will be copied in case of the previous case where our file is terminated by Hadoop fs minus cat, but the same file, just copy file will be copied. It doesn't do any internal format of Hadoop Hive and all. So emp.txt. So is it clear, Srinivas Aparna now?
Yes, Ankit.
Yeah. So In case of sequential files, the data will be stored in a sequential file format, and it uses control A as the delimiter, and it stores in its own format, basically Hive format. But in this case, just you are saying just this is my file format. Just copy the file into Hive location. So I will give a structure and I will create my, I will let my queries garnish the file. But when you are storing in a Hive format, it will store in a Hive proprietary format where control A is the delimiter and it uses its own form. So any questions?
Hi, Venkat.
Venkat, is there any specific case we use sequential format?
Yeah, I mean sequential file format probably once you have data is loaded into your tables, after that you can use sequential file format. Sequential file format is basically the default Hadoop format, right? And it supports compression of discussion or sequence advantage of sequential file compared to text files. Right? It basically you can split it, you can compress it, it stores in a binary format. There are other advantages of a sequential file format. Okay? That is only difference is the internal storage. But as a user, there is no difference for you whether the file is internally stored as a text file or a high proprietary format. Yeah, it's just internal storage.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, so here is no difference. Let me uh, whether I give a command that stores internally as a sequential file or a normal text file, for me there's no difference, right? What I see is a normal in line with whatever the data types have declared. That is just the internal storage. Yeah. So yeah, I think probably we will stop it here, but I will before this thing I will recap of what we have discussed. Um, I think Hive uh, installation, Hive configurations, right? And starting Hive shell, right? And create Hive database and create tables, load data into Hive table using load command. So covered both insert into and overwrite as well. Right? And also covered insert into select. Yeah, and I think you also discussed Hive warehouse directory location and Hive storage. How it sequential file or sequential file as well as row format delimited. So when you say row format delimited, we have to mention call fields terminated by and lines terminated. So any questions? Probably no. I think I think you have covered decent. Probably what you can do as a homework is insert into power right, and also can try some select statements. So any questions, Aparna Srinivas?
As of now, good Venkat. I'll practice tomorrow.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Because I don't want to cover more also, because I want to give a time for you to try all these things, and probably we will go ahead and cover other things. What is covered is database and tables, and partitions, buckets probably will cover. I think other things you can try, rather probably joins and all those things. I think you can try. If you want to cover, I will try cover, but then I think it can be done. Probably you can spend time in elsewhere. And yeah, you can try union, group by, where, inner joins, outer joins, sorting. Yeah, and probably from tomorrow I will quickly cover these things if you want. Then probably go to Hive partitions and buckets. And Srinivas, Aparna, I mean, is it okay to have a class tomorrow same time? Yeah, it is basically homework. Yeah, you try this basically. Please try. I think you have a lot of time. Please try all these steps as much as you can. It would be good if you test everything, basically joints and all, right? And also, what you can try is you are loading it from the local path. You can also try from the HDFS path. Only difference is load data in path, right? HDFS only difference is load data in path. There is no local. Yet you also try this. Please try this. If you cover as much as possible, you're clear with this, then we can discuss about partitions and buckets. Right? Yeah, thanks. Probably I will upload this video and I will send the link.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Srinivas. Yeah.
Thanks, Venkat.
Yeah.